these games. Mike started going off to gamble with other niggas. Hey, Mike friends was his security guards. He was hanging out with them niggas playing games. So when you sitting there saying friends and you think about the greatest of greatest, you like, them niggas said, I'm not really here to be your friend.
Yeah, but one of them niggas on the team was friends. That's what I'm saying. Somebody on there
I'm
was
asking
friends.
you who. I could be proved wrong.
Probably like Pippen and one of them.
Oh, you saying outside of them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, some niggas just gonna be friends.
Yeah, you gotta have some friends on the team.
All 11 niggas was friends outside of Mike. I'm not saying
that works.
Yeah. If that's the case, I think if we talk about the greatest niggas on the team, some of them niggas fuck. But yeah, you probably right about that. All 11 other niggas probably was like, yo, fuck homeboy. This nigga's crazy. So I don't think that you have to, but I think it's good that you should have teammates, especially look.
Welcome back. So now we're going to discuss some football. So when asked about his relationship with Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown said they are not as close as they once were. He said nothing happened. People just grow apart and nothing happened between him and me, our families, our wives, anything. Nothing like that ever happened. So he wanted to make the record straight because a lot of rumors had been circulating around. And he said, and I think both parties accepted that. So Maurice, after kind of hearing this story between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, the relationship, and we know that he is doing different things now on a different team, do you believe you need to be friends with teammates to have massive success in sports?
Yes.
Nah, I don't think that you have to be. I don't think that you have to be friends.
Mo. I knew you was leaning in that direction. I try to give you the right answer. But go ahead,
Nah, you actually don't. I think that is a big myth. I think that if you're friends with somebody, like the victories that you have, they have different memories, and you end up enjoying the victories a whole lot better. But I think like if you're dealing with mature people, you can still serve as a function. Like you can do your job without being like, buddies with a person per se. It becomes a job. It becomes like, am I doing my professional duties to basically, meet the requirements of the team? I think what ends up happening is that guys aren't mature enough to separate the personal feelings from the professional obligation. That's what I really think. And I think like, if you get into tight situations with teammates, I think you'll go a little harder, pause, or you'll fight a little bit more for your teammate, but you don't necessarily need that to basically have massive success in sports, because I've been on championship teams as a player and I've seen it. Guys aren't the best of friends, but everybody is working towards the ultimate common goal. That's what I would say.
And you won a championship with people that wasn't your friends? With no friends on that team?
Yeah. I've had friends, but we respect each other enough to fight for the goal. But we weren't like the best of friends, but that didn't take away from nothing. It was just like we was down for the cause, but it wasn't like we were, friends and hanging out and spending time. Like that would have been a luxury. But we weren't the best of buddies on the field.
No, I get what you're saying, but you had no friends on the team is what I'm asking. Was there no friends on that championship team?
I did have friends. I did have friends on the team. I
knew that, Mo. I know that. That's what I'm trying to get at. You're trying to go around this statement. In order to win, you got to have a friend on the team. To win championships, right? As the president of Titletown, I know these type of things. The teams that win, they really like each other, man. Because when it gets really tough, it's hard to find a reason to keep going with people that you don't really like that, right? So it's the same way in a marriage or anything. If it gets tough and you don't really like the person, you're like, hey, I don't really like them like that anyway, But when it comes to this championships, you'll find people like we talking about A.J. Brown, right? And when it comes to Jalen Hurts, at one point they must have been cool because one of them thought they should have been invited to the wedding, right? So if you think you're going to the wedding and then they don't invite you to the wedding, then this become clean up PR where you say, you know what? I mean, we ain't have to be friends. Yeah, because now you don't have an invite. If you don't have an invite, you got to cover up the fact that They'd invite you, right, Larry? if you find out your boy getting married and then you ain't got a ticket and everybody like, oh, and they partying and you start seeing the video, everybody like, well, where were you? You can't say, oh, he don't fool with me. You say, I didn't need to be there. I didn't need that for the relationship. So you're going to play it down. Not to say this is what A.J. Brown did, but that's what it feels like. So if you're a quarterback and you're a wide receiver, you mean to tell me, Mo, the quarterback and the wide receiver don't have to be cool? They have to. They got to spend time at pause if you want them to throw you the ball. Because he's going to throw it to who he likes most of the time. If that's his man, he's going to make sure his man get paused. This is going to sound crazy. But he's going to make sure his man get the yards that he need. That's what I would think.
I think that being friends boosts morale.
Yeah.
And it boosts morale and y'all are fighting for the same cause to where y'all could talk about shit when the game is not going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, every time we do some units, me and my man Suge, he fly out here, we go to dinner. Even though half time we want to even do half shit. Nah, killer, we made this, nah, you going to dinner, I don't care. I'm like, I'm not going. Nah, we got to do it. We just made and then I'll be like, all right, fine, let's go. Because he's trying to boost morale and I got to respect that. You know what I'm saying? So he's a team player, so I get that. But so that's the question. Do you have to have friends or a friend? Because I think most have friends and Mace said you have to have a friend.
Yeah.
So
you got to have a friend.
Okay, a friend. That may be different because I was going to say, I don't know if anybody like Mike or Kobe. I'm just sitting there thinking about that. Didn't seem like Kobe had any friends on the team. It looked like niggas.
Good point.
Yeah, like Kobe was militant. He was strict. I don't think he liked anybody. Mike might have had Charles Oakley when Charles Oakley, before he got traded to the Knicks. You look at The Last Dance, ain't nobody really hanging out with Mike after these games. Mike started going off to gamble with other niggas. Mike friends was his security guards. He was hanging out with them niggas playing games. So when you sitting there saying friends and you think about the greatest of greatest, you like, them niggas said, I'm not really here to be your friend.
Yeah, but one of them niggas on the team was friends. That's what I'm saying. Somebody on there.
I'm asking you who. I could be proved wrong.
Probably like Pippen and one of them niggas.
Oh, you saying outside of them niggas?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, some niggas that's gonna be friends.
Yeah, probably, you gotta have some friends on the team.
All 11 niggas was friends outside of Mike. I'm not saying
that works.
Yeah. If that's the case, I think if we talk about the greatest niggas on the team, some of them niggas fuck. But yeah, you probably right about that. All 11 other niggas probably was like, yo, fuck homeboy. This nigga's crazy. So I don't think that you have to, but I think it's good that you should have teammates. Especially, look, when you think about this, when you think about a quarterback and wide receiver, you definitely should be on the same page. When we say and talk to Michael Irvin, to this day, he praises Troy Aikman. To this day. You know, and I'm not sitting there throwing no shots, and you can say whatever you want to say. You know who's one of the best wide receivers with no Super Bowl? Terrell Owens. Did he get along with any quarterback that he ever played with? He had a problem with every quarterback that he played with. Donovan McNabb. You got a problem with Steve Young. You got a problem with Tony Romo. You just go to the interview, start crying. That's my quarter. Listen, man. Wide receivers and quarterbacks, that's one of the most, outside of, we take basketball out the equation. That's a relationship that niggas need to be going to dinner and talking to, because your paycheck is valued on this nigga throwing you the ball. Yeah. It's valued on that. So you should have a great relationship with your wide receiver. And once that's out the window, it's bad, especially on the quarterback's behalf, because he'd be like, oh, I ain't see you. You was open? Oh, shit, my bad.
Yeah, you start having them dry conversations.
Yeah. One word joints. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Mace made a great point. Maybe I misunderstood it. Some niggas is friends, but I guess the best nigga don't have to be your friend, but other niggas was friends. I get that, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the correction was that Jalen Hurts didn't make it to the wedding. It wasn't AJ Brown.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts didn't go to AJ Brown's wedding, but Jalen Hurts is also the godfather of his daughter. So people were always wondering, like,
that's probably when the relationship was good. And then you probably knew when he ain't show up to the wedding that shit's shaky. Oh, he really ain't show up. Oh yeah, it's on.
Yeah, it's really what we thought it was.
Right. And one last thing to disagree with you on Mace is that when you said when a marriage get tough, sometimes niggas be like, I'm getting a divorce over. Sometimes people can't afford it. Some people are in relationships right now with somebody they don't want to be with because the bills got to get paid. They can't afford to live the lifestyle that they want to live on their own. I seen a comedian say, this bitch don't know she one come up away from me leaving. All I need is one come up and it's over. So sometimes you may be mentally clocked out, but you can't afford to live on your own. So shout out to y'all though. I hope it gets better.
Is it a shout out? They suck.
Yeah, he can't be abused a while.
Yeah, no, because you know why? Because we gotta. Sometimes I gotta remind Dollar. We live a great life, man. Like for real, man. For real, like dead ass, bro. Like you gotta think about the nigga. Like yo, if I can afford to leave this bitch, or the other reverse, man. If this nigga wasn't paying these bills, yo. It's a lot of people, male or female, you'll come up away, comedian once said, from being an ex.
Terrible situation to be in.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Just stuck.
Imagine, you know what I mean? I used to not understand it. My grandfather would come home from work and just sit in his car for like 2 hours.
Yeah. It's so pessimistic, right? He said 2 hours in the car.
Just sitting there after work.
Sitting there like, I gotta go in.
Yeah, I gotta go in this damn house.
He's getting his mind together.
Yeah, exactly. You're 100% right.
Yeah, excited the day go.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, listen, like I said, it's a luxury. Like, I had one bathroom. So you can't run from the house from somebody.
Keep coming.
In Harlem, the best thing that the tenements had was railroad apartments. So our whole way was long. When you live in these little duplex 1199, you in each other's face. You, excuse me, go to the bathroom and all that. You can't run, man.
I want to ask you guys a more like holistic question because I know we answered it about sports, and Maurice, obviously you had a different perspective, which I don't know if is still the same or not, and you can elaborate about that in a second. But how do you guys feel about friendships specifically in the industry? Because I feel like the saying is always, it's lonely at the top, and for massive success, a lot of people feel as if that's not really a thing. Do you guys feel like relationships and friendships are important or not necessarily, not just within sports, but just the industry as a whole? Actually, I'm gonna let you go first, Mace, because
Oh, I think when it comes to the music industry, I don't believe they are friends. I believe if you're hot enough, everybody deals with you. That has been my understanding. And if you stay hot, then people stay like somehow, leaning towards what you have to say in your phone calls. But when you're ice cold, there's probably, that phone is probably hard to pick up. Like, I won't say any names, but there's people that probably could call Cam's phone right now, and he would know it's them. He won't pick up. It's just not a reason to do it.
I learned from you, man. Yeah, I learned from the
best. Quick on your feet. Yeah, for real. There's some people, that's how the music business is. And I remember one time I was telling my wife that, she was like, why did you say that to that person? I said, babe, you can't burn bridges in this business. If you're hot enough, they have to deal with you. If you're not, and when you're not, they don't have to deal with you. It don't matter how much of a good person you were. There's people that's not going to put you in that position because they just don't have a need for you. And sometimes that's what breaks a lot of celebrities' heart, because they think when they will hear that, the same treatment is going to be there, and it's just not.
Yeah, I totally agree. My opinion is, it goes like this, right? So when you first start doing music, you try to bring your friends along. It's just, you do. You try to find a job, you do this, we're going to turn you into a rapper, you do this. And then some people make it and some people don't. Some people will fall off that didn't work out and you gave them a grace period because you don't know if it's going to work out for you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and whoever doesn't make it, and if you start making it without them, some people are cool. Like I got people right now, right, that I haven't spoke to in 2-3 months. Like for instance, right, like my nigga AJ, right? Mm-hmm. You know I'm busy and shit. That's my nigga. He ain't hit me with no, yo, this nigga Cam on some bullshit. This nigga's whack. Motherfucker, I may miss, because I don't have notifications on my phone, so by the time I get to DM or text or whatever, fucking 8-9 days may have went by, and I don't mean no malicious by, but I don't get them texts from him like, yo, my man, what's up with you? Why you ain't picking up? Yo, I get the, yo, keep doing your thing, nigga. I seen you, da-da-da. I love him for that. Then I got other niggas send me like, yo, if you don't want to speak to me, just say that. I'm not and you like, yo, I ain't gonna name the niggas who said it. If you don't want to speak to me, yo, I'm not one of your bitches. Just say that, my nigga, da-da-da. And I take that text as like, now I'm not gonna speak to you because that was uncalled for. I see you busy and all. If you see that, then what's the problem? What's the problem?
Why do men get that invested in other men? That's crazy.
Yeah, so back to what Mace is saying is that, look, if you do have friends, as long as, even though we had a rocky relationship, it's a treasure and cool because relationships don't really last that long, especially in this industry, even though we're not doing music. But you think about, I'm just giving friends starting each other. Now let's go to the other equation from the person who helped you get your deal. You may build a friendship with the person who helped you get your deal, but they only got you your deal because they thought they was going to make money too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I sat there and evaluated 1 year, like I'm talking about the niggas that I used to be around, I've been around, and I'd be like, yo, would y'all niggas have been cool with me if I wasn't doing music?
That's a good question.
That's the point. And no, I wouldn't even met half you niggas if I wasn't doing music or help get deals or whatever, anything else. You only got cool with me because I was doing music. Somebody like the nigga like Duke the God, I gotta say Duke the God, Duke the God is down. That's bloodshed, man, you my man, this, that, third. We was stealing your mom's cargo and the skate key, all that. Duke the God was my man. And of course you, Mace, I'm just talking about niggas outside our relationship. Before any music was realistic. Yeah. Everybody else was only cool because I was doing music.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I was at the top of the gate. Screaming, kill it, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
We won the MVP.
Yeah, listen, I spent the night at Mace, man. I used to live in Mace House. You know what it's like? No, you don't know what it's like.
You know.
I don't know how Mace didn't have no house. He lived on the 6th floor. We had to go up and down stairs 5-6 times a day. And it wasn't a big deal. It was all good. The parties was around the corner. The Jamaican spot upstairs. Listen, man, we had a great time. I'm talking about all of us. I'm talking about BBO, Zig, Gus, Woods. It was a great time. But it's very few. When you sit there and think about it, you'd be like, would these niggas be cool if I wasn't going to be a basketball player or entertainer and anything else? And that's what you have to realize, like, who really your friends are. And if you stay friends even through, don't get me wrong, you meet great people on the journey and you'd be like, nah, this turned into a great friendship. This shit was dope. But then when it don't be dope, you be like, let me backtrack and see how this nigga got next to me anyway.
How did this happen?
Yeah. You gotta backtrack and figure out how did it get to this. So.
Cold world, Marty.
That's crazy. So Killer, who I gotta talk to about getting my plaques? Because I never got a plaque for anything.
Not even your records?
Nothing.
Never? Karen Civil will get you plaques. You got mad plaques because you have to get all the plaques that features you was on, whether it's Brandy or Brian McKnight or anybody else. I got all my shits, and I ain't bringing them up, R. Kelly, Mariah Carey, I was part of them shit. I count them sales towards my discography. Mariah Carey sell 3 million. I'm on a single. This is my 3 million.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So you, that's what I'm trying to say. You got to tally up your sales because you always just go off.
Yeah.
Your album. Whoever you was featured on, that's part of your sales and your discography. That's how I tally mine up because the checks is the same.
Need that. Okay.
But Karen Civil, she be getting plaques. I'll reach out to her for you.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be dope. Maurice, final thoughts on friendships in the industry?
No, what I was going to say was that it's pretty much the same way in football. And what I heard them describe, to me, I kind of heard it and made my point that stuff be situational and circumstantial. And that's how a lot of relationships in football are. So they don't really be friendships, but people end up winning. And then kind of like how Cam did it when he had to say, let me sit back, reflect, and let me be introspective about were these really relationships and friendships. You realize that they weren't. That's why you hear the things that are spoken, like when you hear about Bill Belichick and Tom Brady not liking each other. It was never really a friendship. You know what I'm saying? It was like circumstantial towards what they were chasing. And then you hear these dudes, they talk crazy about Russell Wilson all those years that he was out there in Seattle and they had to lead you to boom and all that stuff. And so it was just an interesting question, like, the fact that it's like that in music, it's the same thing in football. And I think it's people who end up coming together and they're chasing something. And if, one person has success, another person doesn't, these real feelings start to slip out, about how people feel about one another. And I would just, I just wanted to hear their perspective on it.
Yeah, and
that's real, because it's like when you know when you're in somebody is really cool, because it's like when you see them elevate, it should get you excited. Yes. Like when you see them doing better, you see them doing bigger stuff. You're not sitting there like, why are they doing this? You want to see them go up because that gets you hype. If you really feel like it's all like one family and one friendship. That's the way I think.
Yeah,
I never seen nobody succeed, and I was sitting there like, man, why that ain't me? Like, no, I don't.
That's
think
a fact. I was just on Max Kellerman and Rich Paul show. Shout out to them. They show is really dope. And Max Kellerman was saying how he said, Mace killed that freestyle he did on the show. That freestyle was crazy. It's in the interview. He said, yo, Kim, I know that raised your temperature, made you want to get in the booth and go do some shit. I said, no, the hell it didn't. I want the nigga to go do more. So, and I'm telling the nigga, I said, I'm not in no competition with this nigga. You think hey, go watch the show, it's on Netflix. I said, no, I did not try and run in the booth. I told nigga more. I said, look, you see this phone? I wish I could play something for you right now. I told him, this is all on Netflix. It's on the show. You could go watch it. And I said, no, I did not run to the booth. I encouraged him to go do another one.
Yeah, for real.
And because I know how great of a rapper Mace is, and I'm just discouraged not discouraged, I'm disappointed that the world can't hear it, but I understand why. Don't get me wrong, I totally understand it, but oh well. So yeah, I miss out because I listen in the car at least 2-3 times a month.
I have one more final question for all y'all, just because we're on the conversation of friendships, and obviously it only gets harder the more success that you have. When was like the last time you guys had, in your opinion, made a new friendship? Like when was that? Because I feel like a lot of you guys' friendships are people that you've known for quite some time. Like for you to realize like, no, this is like somebody that I consider a friend. When was that last time? Maurice, gonna let you go first.
I would say probably through this show for me, and it's easier for this because the people on the other side of the screen don't want nothing from it, and so I typically have to make friends with people who are like just above me in some regard, because they don't need you. I don't need nothing from them. They don't need nothing from me, and they've already lived a lot of life that I've not lived yet. I'm saying, or done things that I've not done, so it's pure. And then I think a lot of things don't work out just because people don't understand their position, that they may be with somebody. So I would say for that, for me, it's tougher here in Ohio because like that's a little bit tougher. But I would say just through this show and with you all, it's probably the time that I've got new friends.
Oh.
That was dope, Mo. That's good.
Yep.
It's
And
always good if you think you're a friend of somebody and they think you're a friend too. You know, it's not good if you think you're a friend and they don't think the same thing. So I'm glad we share the same sentiment. Because it'd have been crazy if I thought, oh no, man, this nigga Mo is cool, and then you got on there and you're like, yo, Chad from Delaware. You're like, oh, well, maybe I missed.
Never mind. I won't go.
That's why I said let Mo go first.
Just like he did the award.
Yeah.
Same way.
Well, of course, Mo, you know you're my brother even before the show, but let me think. I would say Nick, but I pay Nick, so I don't really know if Nick's my friend. Would Nick be my friend if I'm not paying him? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's cool. Nick's a cool nigga. Like,
Yeah, you gotta find out.
Yeah, but I don't know if Nick would be my man if I wasn't paying him. All right, the last two friends I made, I'll say this, even though it's going on 10 years, I'll say Larry. Larry's probably, because I've known the people that's around me, I've known a long time. Like, trying to think of somebody that I met recently. Like PT, I know PT 25 years, and like I be around niggas that I know. It's really crazy. I'm this older. You know how niggas be like, when you was young, they be like, we known each other 20 years. And like, this is really a fact now at this point. But I'll say Larry, I remember I used to come to Vegas before I lived out here, and Larry was really cool. He had his grow, and Larry was doing shit he ain't have to do. Larry would give me like, Cam, hey, look, I got you a weed license. You're a weed license owner. And I'm like, word, I could deal weed, nigga? Like, I could deal weed. And then Larry would be like, yo, here, take this ticket. You gonna win this baseball game. And I'm like, I don't fucking want to bet, Larry. He's like, nah, it's a guarantee. Then he give me a ticket, and I won $8,000 off some, he was just being nice because it was a guaranteed bet. And, you know, I came here, he told me, that, yo, Cam, don't rent no cars when you're here. I got 7 cars, take one of my cars. Don't pay for a hotel. I done killed these hotels where you get comp. So Larry was a real friend before. And I'm not saying all because you was giving me shit, because I would turn it down. Half the shit I'd be like, nah, I just feel better when I pay for it. But some of the stuff I would accept too. But thank you, man. So it's cool that Larry's my friend. And then that was the last friend I met as far as like, human. My new to his friends, my dogs. Oh. So that's my latest friends, Tina and Rico. So,
oh my God. Yeah. And you do like them dogs.
That's my newest friends, man.
Oh Lord.
And they cool. They my niggas, and I ain't got to deal with a lot with them, man. No emotions or nothing, man.
None of that.
Yeah.
Well, I love this conversation. That was super dope.
Who are your new friends, Stat?
My new friend, they literally would be y'all, because I'd be scared to meet people nowadays. Like, I always be like, yeah, like I'm young, and I know I am, but at this point, it's going on how many, 3 years now? Yep. Which time is flying. Like I said, I'm 25. Like, I don't really be meeting people anymore. I be kind of scared. So I feel safe here, and I always say that. And safety makes me feel great. So yes, that's what I would say. But
yeah, I would say like PT is probably one of those people that I think is like a friend, and then a guy named Mayo. Pause.
But you didn't just meet PT. She said your newest friends.
Oh, newest.
Yeah.
I really within like PT. A year, 2, 3, if that even counts.
Probably a guy named Mayo.
Okay. It's dope. Because it's hard. It is harder now, like, especially now. The more that you do things, you never know what's genuine. You don't know what is. It's hard.
Hey, hold on. Let's be clear for the question. So all y'all niggas just my friends now.
For years.
Yeah.
We're not talking about you.
Yeah, we're not saying you're not our friends. So all my niggas I fuck
like, yo,
with.
You got on the show, you didn't say my name?
Yeah. Like, it's a bunch of friends, but I've known y'all over a decade minimum.
She said in the last year or two.
Yeah. Or the newest. It could be the newest.
Yes, that for sure. Okay, well, great discussion here, y'all. But that is all the time that we have for today. Maurice, you know, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Damn.
Mo pocket watching.
Right with y'all. Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Have a good one.
Thank y'all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
Do you really need to be friends with someone to build something great together? Maze and Cameron, 2 of the most iconic names to ever come out of Harlem, have been giving the world a masterclass on this very question, and most people are sleeping on the lesson. Let's set the scene. Mays and Cameron were both part of the same Harlem wave. Both signed a bad boy at different points. Both ran in overlapping circles. But were they ever really close friends? Not in the traditional sense. And yet, their parallel careers, their shared city, their mutual industry connections, all of it created a dynamic that shaped both of their trajectories in ways that pure friendship never could have. Here's what people get wrong. They think success in sport and business is built on loyalty between friends. But the most powerful relationships in any competitive field are not friendships, they are alignments. There's a difference. A friend will comfort you when you lose. An aligned partner will make sure losing costs you both, which means they fight just as hard as you do to win. Look at sport. Some of the greatest partnerships in athletic history were not built on friendship. Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal won 3 NBA championships back to back to back, and they genuinely could not stand each other for stretches of that run. But their competitive tension, their refusal to let the other outshine them, their mutual hunger, that is what forged a dynasty. The locker room did not need to be a dinner table. It needed to be a furnace, and the heat between them made both of them bane brighter. Phil Jackson understood this better than anyone. He did not try to make his players best friends. He made them spiritually connected to a shared purpose. That is the business model right there. You do not need to love the people you work with. You need to respect what they bring and commit to the same outcome. Now back to Mays and Cameron, because this is where it gets real interesting. When Cameron started Diplomat Records and built the Diplomats into one of the most culturally dominant groups of the early 2000s, that was not a friendship play. That was a business architecture. He built with Joel Santana, with Jim Jones, with Freaky Zeke, not because they were his best friends growing up, but because each person served a function in the machine. Cam understood what the streets of Harlem needed to hear, and he assembled people who could deliver it from different angles. Mays took a different route. He stepped away from music at the height of his fame to pursue ministry. When he came back, he had to rebuild relationships and alliances in an industry that had moved on without him. What kept doors open for Mays was not old friendships. It was the respect his catalog commanded and the professional reputation he had built. People took his calls because of what he represented, not because they were sitting at Thanksgiving dinner with him every year. That is the lesson for anyone trying to build in business right now. Your network is not your friend list. Your network is your reputation multiplied by your reach. Every person who respects your work becomes a potential ally. Every person who has seen you show up and deliver becomes a door that can open when you need it most. In sport, coaches and general managers have known this for decades. The best front offices in professional sports are not built on friendships. They are built on roles, trust in those roles, and accountability. When the San Antonio Spurs built their dynasty under Greg Popovich, it was not because everyone was laughing together at the team dinner every night. It was because Popovich made every single person understand their role so completely that they could execute it in their sleep. Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, 3 players from 3 different countries, 3 different backgrounds, 3 completely different personalities. What they shared was not friendship. What they shared was a standard. And that standard is the thing that Cameron and Mays both embody in different ways when they speak about success. Cam will tell you straight. He trusted the people around him because they earned it, not because he grew up with them. Some of the people he grew up with were the ones who created the most problems. Mays will tell you the same truth from a different angle. Relationships in this industry need to be grounded in something real, something principled. Otherwise, the moment money and fame enter the room, the friendship becomes the first casualty. The most dangerous thing you can do in business or in sport is confuse proximity with partnership. Just because someone is around you all the time does not mean they are building with you. And just because someone is not your close friend does not mean they cannot be the most important professional relationship of your life. Think about business partnerships that changed industries. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak were not the same kind of friends that people romanticize. They were 2 people with complementary obsessions who happened to be in the same room at the right time. The friendship that emerged came after the wake. The work came first. The work always comes first. In the world Cam and Mays navigated, record deals, street politics, brand building, public perception management, being someone's genuine friend was actually a liability sometimes. Because friendship clouds judgment. When your friend makes a bad decision, you cover for them. When your business partner makes a bad decision, you have to address it, because the whole structure is at risk. That clarity, that separation between emotion and execution, is what separates people who build lasting empires from people who just have a good run. So the answer to the question is no. You do not need to be friends with somebody to be successful in sport and business. What you need is mutual respect, aligned incentives, clear roles, and the maturity to separate the personal from the professional. Friendship can exist inside that. It often does. But it is never the foundation. The foundation is always the work, always the standard, and always the shared hunger to win. Mays and Cameron showed Harlem, and they showed the world that you can move through the same space, respect the same culture, and build incredible things without being inseparable. The game rewards those who understand the difference between who you eat with